Hey guys, welcome back to another video by Fully Informed Trade, or Fitrade for short. My name is Alex, and at this time, this video is going to be specifically focused on silver, gold, rare earth materials, and of course, the silver and gold mining companies. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and review these key stocks. Alright, this is a chart of the gold spot. Gold spot is trading at around 1,419. And I just want to go back to the dollar index. Dollar index is down substantially. It's around 3 a.m. in the morning. And like we're seeing right here, we are at around, give or take, if I go ahead and zoom in a bit, yeah, 3 a.m. in the morning. And one thing that kind of gets me disturbed right now is the fact that we are basically, we're not seeing much of a bounce in gold or silver even after seeing the dollar index collapse in the nightly session. Now, I do want to point out that the dollar index has continued falling. I mean, even on Monday it fell sharply. Gold and silver had a pretty strong response to that. And it just comes to show that these correlations really do matter, and they continue to matter, at least to us traders. So I want to point out this key point to you guys. I mean, look at what happened at 10 a.m. the dollar index. Basically from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. the dollar index fell substantially. And I just kind of want to point out what happened between 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Gold had a sharp rally to the upside and has floated sideways a bit, but I do believe that we have more room to the upside just because of the fact that the dollar index has gone down very, very drastically. Now, how do we want to trade this? Well, there's many ways we could approach this. Either you're a gold forex trader, or you're a gold futures trader, or you're a gold stock trader, or you're a GLD put or call option trader. There's plenty of ways to go about this, but the main point is that you want to go long gold in general, mainly because the dollar index has gone substantially lower. You're probably going to see a much larger bounce towards the U.S. trading session, at least towards the open. That also does point out, and that also brings along the point that stocks too will react positively to a weakening dollar, and you can just blame the Federal Reserve and our unwillingness to pull our troops out of the Middle East. If we just pull the troops out of the Middle East and we stop inflating the economy through quantitative easing too, chances are you would see the dollar index going up instead of down in value. But until those two factors are changed, you're going to see the dollar index continuing to go lower. And likewise, gold and silver will continue to go higher, at least over the longer term. Right now, this does kind of disturb me, but I do believe that gold and silver will eventually go higher. I also want to point out the fact that I do believe that the silver spot has the same exact thing going for it. If you guys go ahead and zoom back, we do have a flag pattern. The flag pattern, to me at least, is very important. I'm going to go ahead and zoom back for you guys. And you guys can see that once this is kind of broken in a bit, you're going to see eventually a rally in the silver spot. Now, the silver spot is long overdue for a rally at this point. As you guys have already seen, the dollar index has fallen. And if you guys go ahead and see, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., we're still trading sideways a bit. And we're not getting exactly what I want, but we are starting to push off of this a bit, and we're most likely going to head higher. Mark my words, if we do head higher, silver and gold, I do believe silver and gold will go higher just because of what we see in the dollar index. So just always keep that in mind. You generally see commodities trade in the opposite direction of the dollar. Now, I also want to point out silver wheaten. We do have a downtrend in silver wheaten, but I do believe that we could hold on to the 20-day moving average. As you guys can see right here, the 20-day moving average is where it is trading on top of right now. See this 20? Yes, that's the 20-day moving average. I want you guys to basically assume that just because of the fact that the dollar index is going to go, since the dollar index is going to go lower, chances are you're going to see silver go higher, and likewise the silver stocks will react positively to that. And not only that, you're going to see the same exact effect with the general stock market as a whole, because the dollar is weakening. Commodities and stocks tend to go up. Since this is a commodity and a stock at the same time, chances are it will go up. Next, I want to point out that since it's at a 20-day moving average, it does have a reasonable basis for finding support. Even though we have a short-term downtrend in play right now, that should abate just because of what we're seeing in the silver market. Now, if I just go ahead and zoom out a bit in silver, you do see at least a short-term downtrend in silver, but I do think that will abate and eventually go back higher. Alright, next I do want to point out another thing, which is going to be REMX. REMX does have a double top and it has pulled back a little bit from it. But rare earth materials, what's the set of rare earth materials also includes gold and silver. And chances are we could find some support and eventually go a little higher. And you know, if you guys noticed in the last couple of weeks, if I go ahead and show you, at least in the month, you know, let's see what happened on March 15th. Let's go ahead and look at the March 15 chart for silver. And let's see, March 15. Yeah, on March 15, that's basically where it found somewhat of a bottom right there. And on March 15, it has continued going higher. Let's look at what happened to Market Vector's Rare Earth Material Index, or whatever you want to call it. The ticker symbol is REMX. It has two. It also went up as well. So that just comes to show you that this market is very tightly correlated to the RE. Gold and silver is very, very tightly correlated to the REMX. Now, moving on, I want to point out Freeport-McMoran, or Freeport-McMoran, whatever you want to call it. We are finding somewhat of a resistance at around the $56 level, but I do believe we'll be able to retest it in the next couple days, if not tomorrow, or not really tomorrow, but today or tomorrow, which is basically going to be Tuesday or Wednesday, where we're going to retest the $56 level. And that's basically where I think the stock will go. I think it will get a quick bounce based on the action we're seeing in the dollar, and likewise the silver and gold market will eventually go up in response to that. Next, I also want to point out that AUY, Yamana Gold, will eventually find support at this $12.10 area. As you guys can go ahead and see right here, $12.10 has been a previous point where we had a print right there. A huge gap lower, and then we have been able to trade back up to around $12.30. Likewise, I do think we'll be able to find some support at this $12.10 area, or even just trade from $12.12 back up, just because silver and gold will most likely get a bounce later on in the morning session, or very, very early morning session. Anyway, that pretty much does it for my gold and silver review for March 29, 2011. This video should be available to you guys by the morning. And I hope this information does help out in your trading session, as it will become very important and vital for your Tuesday trading session. Anyway, that does it for me for today. If you guys want to use the same exact charting software that I use, please be sure to check out the link right below this video. And if you guys are interested in you know, in this kind of stuff, just be sure to subscribe so you guys can always have access to this and always know when the next video comes out. Anyway, I'll have more for you guys in the coming weeks and months ahead. Take care.